very fine today. Once again, we have assembled over here, and it's my prime work to make you understand the last portion of your nationalism chapter, and that is the sense of collective belongingness. This sense of collective belongingness means creating the feeling of nationalism within the people, the spirit of nationalism, the stigma of nationalism. The literacy rate as compared to today's date and during that era when India was launching for independence. That time the people were not so much educated. It was our leaders, it was some section of the people who came forward and took up the banner of bringing about freedom within the country. So they struggled, they did their best to make the people come under the one umbrella and to create a feeling of nationalism within the people. What is this sense of collective belongingness? It is an abstract emaciation. Abstract means that which cannot be seen. I know the basic word, the basic meaning of the word abstract is something that cannot be seen but can be felt. Anything. Either it is your love, either it is the kindness or the cruelty of a person, or the anger of a person, or the childhood days, or the or your aging period. All that thing can be felt, that cannot be seen. So that is abstract. So this sense of collective belongingness, it is an abstract, emotional emaciation within the people, created within the people, such that they can discover the feelings of unity. And if that unity is discovered by the people, automatically the bond of getting together, that will automatically arise. If the sense of abstract emaciation, that is the feeling of unity, feeling of brotherhood, feeling of nationality for the nation, if that develops within the people, then it is a sure circumstance. It is an automatic process that the feeling of unity and the feeling of people getting bonded together, that will arise. But for this, in order to attain that, our national leaders, moreover, the painters, the poets, the literary writers, and some of the more educated sections of the people, they came together and they adopted various processes to bring about a sense of belongingness within the people. That is to create the feeling of nationalism, such that the people can come out of the four doors of their house, the four corners of the house, and can go and struggle for the nationalism, such that we can get independence for the country. In order to achieve this, the leaders, they adopted various processes. Some of the processes, we can well say, it was the cultural process. The very first one is the cultural process. Within this cultural process, we will understand the very first thing, identity of India was referred to be as that of the Bharat Mata. People were made to understand that this land where we are born, this is the symbol of Ma. It is a symbol of mother. And that mother is Pujaniya. That mother is led to be worshipped. So people were made to understand the concrete meaning of that, such that the feeling, that abstract feeling of nationality may develop within the people. The cultural process, the Sanskritic programs, which we literally say in Hindi, that identity of this India, that is the country where we live, that was symbolized to be that of the Bharat Mata. Why such? Only to bring about the feeling of nationalism within the people. The people can understand the true meaning that as we regard our mother, we worship our mother in the same way where we are born, this Janmabhoomi, that is also one of the Mata for us. That is why it was regarded to be the Bharat Mata. That identity was given by the leaders, by the poets, and so on. Secondly, the same female image, this Bharat Mata's female image, that was depicted by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. The image of Bharat Mata that was depicted by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay and Mr. Abhindranath Tagore painted that image, and that painting of the image by Mr. Abhindranath Tagore, that brought about a feeling of nationalism within the people. It was Bankim Chandra Chatterjee who took up the step of bringing about and writing the poem that is Vande Mataram. It was he who brought about and wrote that song that is Vande Mataram. By that song, the people could understand that and could develop the feelings of nationality. These were some of the cultural steps. Cultural steps in a sense, that is, anyhow or the other, the leaders, the poets, the literary writers, either by way of history, either by way of images, either by way of writing the poems, they wanted to attract the people. They wanted the people that they may get learnt about what is this nationality. Had they been not learnt about the nationality, the feelings of unity, the feelings of brotherhood would not have come. So, various steps. That was the very first one. That is the cultural step. And another step, the second one, that was the Indian folklores, which we had discussed yesterday also, means the regional songs. People were not so much educated. And since they were not so much educated, so what happened? The leaders and many other educated sections of people, they came forward and by way of the regional language, either in the form of a verse or in the form of a in the form of a ballad, that is a big poem written down in the form of a song, that is called a ballad. So, by the form of folklore songs, in the form of a ballad, the people were made to understand the true meaning of nationality. People were made to understand some of the stories also in the form of a poem, emotional stories. Some people were also made to understand the spiritual stories also. Why? It is only because by reading that, by understanding that, by hearing such sort of things, the people may get attracted, the spiritual feelings may develop within the people, and through that the people may get attracted and they may come forward to learn and to support in this freedom struggle. That was the sense of collective responsibility, or we can say collective belongingness also. So, the second one, folklore, it was the Indian folklore which played a very prominent role in spreading the feelings of nationalism. What was that Indian folklore? Very first one, we talked about the cultural process. The folklores also played a very predominant role in creating the feeling of nationalism within the people. Folklores were sung by the bands in the village to give a true picture of the traditional culture which got corrupted and damaged by the outside forces. By these Indian folklores, sections of the people who were known as the bandsmen, bandsmen. These bandsmen, they played their bands and sung the song of the traditions of the culture of the past India. The things which were corrupted, the things which were damaged, which were no more in existence, even such type of things was renewed now by these bandsmen, and they used to play that song. They used to play that beats within the village. People used to get assembled together under the Panchayat Bhavan or wherever they were made to sit together, and that song was sung, bands were played, old traditions were sung, the traditionals and the cultures were repeated again and again. And through that, the people got attracted. That was the main theme of the leaders at that time. That was the main theme of the people also. So the folklore songs were sung, the traditions were maintained, the culture which were on the verge of finishing off, that was once again made to bring into the minds of the people, such that this type of things can once again flourish. The things which got corrupted, the things which got damaged, that the things which got damaged, that was maintained. Okay. Secondly, by the meaning of this folklore and tales tried to improve the traditional culture of the village. इसका प्रभाव क्या पड़ा? The effect of the folklore was that it improved the tradition. It improved the tradition and culture of the village. The things which were lost in the past by the song made by these bandsmen, sung by these bandsmen, people living in the village, they came to understand about their corrupted or damaged past. Now once again, when they came to understand, when they came to know something new, sung in the form of the folklore, the people once again started to develop their tradition. They started to develop their traditions and cultures. See, for example, still we are in this 21st century, and there are some of the things which we do not forget. Some of the sanskars are there, some of the traditions and cultures are still maintained by the Hindu family, by the Muslim family, or whoever they are. Those things were prevalent in the past also, and those things are present even now also. So being in the past and in the present also, something that which cannot be forgotten, such things are maintained. In the same way, these English people, they had damaged, they had corrupted our culture, they had finished off our traditions, and by singing these folklores, once again, the village community, they again too started to develop their traditions and culture. So that was, we can well say, good role played by these bandsmen by singing the folklores and so on. So this was a good step that was done so. Thirdly, in order to give a boost to the destroyed folk cultural and such as who survived the same, Rabindranath Tagore himself began collecting nursery rhymes in Bengali language. It was Mr. Rabindranath Tagore also who played a vital role in collecting the nursery rhymes, in language of Bengali. In Bengali language it was collected. Why nursery rhymes? You will say, sir, whether it is going to create any meaning or not. Nursery rhymes, something which is primary based, something in the form of a primer. Those type of poems, those type of rhymes which were related to Bharat Mata, those type of songs or those type of poems, small poems, rhymes which were for the nationhood, unity, brotherhood, culture, tradition, all such type of rhymes in the form of Bengali language that was collected by Mr. Rabindranath Tagore, and still we see that the feeling of unity and nationality is still in Bengal, that is much developed till now state also. बंगाल में अभी भी जो आप देखिएगा राष्ट्रीयता की भावना, brotherhood की भावना, feeling of getting together, that's still much more, because some of the most prominent poets and so on, the leaders were from Bengal, and it was they where we find the folklores, where we find by the way of nursery rhymes, Rabindranath Tagore took up a prominent step to develop the feelings of nationality within the people. So the cultural tradition, the Indian folklores. One more point regarding the Indian folklore is Natasha Shastri, one of the important member. Natasha Shastri. What role did he play? You have to keep it in mind also, the names of these persons. What did they do? Natasha Shastri published 4-volume collection of Tamil folklore. 4 volumes. 4 volumes of Tamil folklore. Tamil folklore. Natasa Sastri collected 4 volumes of Tamil folklore, known as the folklore of southern India. It was he also who took up the case of uniting the people within in the southern part of the country. He collected 4 volumes of folklores. Folklores what? Something which was related to tradition, something related to culture. So the things which were damaged, the things which were corrupted, even this leader, that is Nathasa Sastri, he took up the step of getting the people united together to develop the sense of a spirit of brotherhood, unity, and taking care for the nation itself. So such type of things were written down in the form of a volumes of books, the 4 volumes, which was known as the folklore of South India. The 2 steps, the very first one, the cultural step, and the second one was for the Indian folklore. Indian folklores, which comprised and which by which you can discuss in that is the Indian bandsmen. They sung the folklores in the villages as with regard to the tradition and culture which was damaged and corrupted by the outside forces. Who is this outside forces? It was the English people who tried to finish off. In class 8 also you had studied that it was the English people who disrupted our economic, social, educational, spiritual and religious background. They tried to hamper our tradition. So by this folklore, by the singing of this folklore, people once again came to understand as with regard to the feelings of Rashtriyata, feeling of nationality within the people. Third one is use of icons and symbols. This step was also taken. Icons and symbols. इन चीजों के द्वारा भी लोगों को आकर्षित किया गया, लोगों को जो है ध्यान को जो है अपने अंदर डालने का कोशिश किया गया by some of the usage of symbols and icons. That also played a very prominent role in bringing about the sense of collective responsibility or sense of collective belongingness within the people. What are those? A tricolor flag was hoisted during the Swadeshi movement. That was red, green and yellow. You have to remember that. Red, green and yellow. This was the tricolor flag. This tricolor flag was hoisted during the Swadeshi movement. After the Lahore Kranti, that is 1929, when the people started to talk about the Swaraj, that we are going to attain the Swaraj by 1931, 26th January 1931, but that could not be accomplished because of the frictions within the people. So we could not achieve Swaraj, but during that time, the tricolor flag was also hoisted, and the color of the flag at that time was red, green and yellow. You have to remember that. Do not miss the color. It may come in the objective question that during the Swadeshi period, which type of tricolor was hoisted. The color of the flag was red, green and yellow. Do not write saffron. The flag, you have to also understand, what did it include? The Swadeshi flag included what? It included 8 lotus. It included 8 lotuses. Then, what were those? It included 8 lotuses representing 8 provinces of British India and a crescent moon and a crescent moon representing Hindus and Muslims. 8 lotus and crescent moon. This crescent moon, it represented what? It represented Hindus and Muslims. This crescent moon, it represented Hindus and Muslims. And this 8 lotus, what was the significance of this 8 lotus? 8 lotus is the significance of 8 provinces of India at that time. Okay? Awadh and so on, many were there, Kaushala. So that was the provinces at that time. The tricolor which was hoisted during the period of Swadeshi movement, it brought about the feelings within the people. It brought about the nationality feelings within the people. Still today also, whenever the national anthem is being sung, every people getting and sitting, standing together, looking at the flag gets hoisted. The people have their view regarding the nation, regarding Bharat Mata and so on. So these symbols were being used, the icons were being used, meaning thereby this crescent moon. This is what? This is a crescent moon. This crescent moon symbolized the Hindus and Muslims, the two basic communities of the India, the religious sect of India. And 8 lotuses represented the 8 provinces of India. Some of the more icons and symbols which were basically used. By 1921, Gandhiji designed the Swaraj flag. Once again, in the year 1921, Gandhiji prepared a Swaraj flag. It was also different. This Swaraj flag was also different. In 1921, Gandhiji prepared a Swaraj flag which had red, green and white. Which had red, green and white. These 3 stripes were there. These 3 stripes were there, red, green and white. These 3 stripes were present in that tricolor flag. Red, green and white. And aspiring wheel in the center representing Gandhi's ideology of self-help. And a spinning wheel. In the middle, what was there? In the middle, there was a charkha. A spinning wheel was there in the middle. This spinning wheel, what does it signify? It signifies the ideology of Gandhi. It signifies the ideology of Gandhi. So, the breaking questions may also come in your MCQ, or rather in the fill in the blanks portion. The spinning wheel symbolizes what? The spinning wheel symbolizes the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi. What was the Swaraj flag which was prepared by Mahatma Gandhi? What was the color? You have to mention red, green and white. Red, green and white. The 3 stripes were there. Swadeshi flag, red, green and yellow, comprising of 8 lotuses and a crescent moon. Gandhiji's Swaraj flag, it comprised of 3 colors. In the middle there was a charkha, there was a spinning wheel which symbolized the ideology of Gandhi. So these 3 things, that is the culture process, the Indian folklores, and the third one, that is the symbols and the icons. These 3 were taken to bring about the feelings of collective belongingness within the people. Another aspect is historical representation. Another one is historical representation. The last. Even this process was also adopted to bring about the sense of nationality within the people. The Britishers saw Indians as backward, depressed, primitive, and incapable of governing themselves. See, such a superior complexity was there in the minds of the English people. The English people were thinking that we Indians were primitive, पौराणिक काल के व्यक्ति. We were uneducated. We were not capable of administering the country. We were very weak. We were the depressed section of the entire world. इस तरह का मानसिकता रख रहा था the Britishers. Britishers were having such type of a sense for us. They regarded us as to be a depressed section of people which do not have any brain to think about anything. And so Indians began to look in the past and try to discover something new for India's achievement. And since that feeling was there in the English people, and as soon as this feeling of nationality grew, so we went to discover something about the past. We went to discover something. Discover means कोई चीज को खोजना नहीं, मतलब कोई चीज को पढ़ना. Discover something about the past. And soon after achieving something about the past, we tried to understand our history. हमने अपने इतिहास को समझा लोग अपने इतिहास के बारे में जानने का कोशिश किया. What was India at that time? So brave was India at that time. The India really that was a, जिसको हिंदी में कहा जाता था सोने की चिड़िया. How did it achieve that? People came to understand that. People had to go back and read the history, and then that feelings developed the feeling of nationality within the people. The historical aspect. Second historical aspect, the Indians wrote glorious development of ancient India. That is in the field of art, mathematics, law, science, agriculture, religion and culture as well as philosophy. This glorious time was followed by India's decline when the country was colonized. India was very much famous in the field of astronomy, in the field of mathematics, in the field of philosophy, law, or geometry, and so on. But everything was corrupted, everything was damaged when the English people they entered in our domain, in our territory. They ransacked each and everything. So slowly and slowly, with the help of these leaders, we were made to understand about our past. We were made to understand about our educational patterns and the system and the discoveries which our forefathers had previously done. That is why we returned back to the history. We studied about that. And then after getting that history, we developed the stigma of doing something good. And that doing something good was what? To flee away, to make the English people to flee away from this place such that we could show to the nation that we Indians are not depressed, we Indians are not backward, we Indians are not incapable, rather we are capable to govern the country, to administer the country. We do not want the help of any foreign mercenaries. We do not want the help of any foreign body who can come and assist us. We are capable enough to administer ourselves. By going where? By going into the past, we developed such type of feelings. The last one, such reinterpretation of history. हमने क्या किया? We reinterpreted our history. Reinterpreted. We took the step of studying the history, the past culture, the past tradition, the past history. And after understanding, and after going into, and after reinterpreting the history, we created a sense of devotion towards the nation. And such feeling of nationalism embarked the feelings within the people. So, after going into such a reinterpretation of the history, we got something new. We got ourselves enlightened. And after getting enlightened, we developed a sense of sparkle of nationalism in our heart. And after that sparkling of the feelings of nationalism, we came forward and supported the leaders in that various movements to make the English people flee away from the country. That was the basic thing. So, in the sense of this collective belongingness, the only thing which we have to understand is that various steps were taken. What is this collective belongingness? It is an abstract emotional emaciation. Abstract emotional emaciation that develops, that discovers, that makes the people to discover the unity. And after getting the unity discovered, the people automatically gets bonded together. That is called the sense of collective belongingness. Various steps were taken. The cultural process, the Indian folklores, the feelings of icons and symbols, and lastly the historical aspect. By this entire thing, the people, the leaders, and various sectional group people, they all thought of bringing about the sense of collective responsibility or the belongingness within the people. I hope so. The very last portion of nationalism that has come to an abrupt end. Something more is to be revised, something more is to be given. There is no end of each and everything, but still we have to compromise with the situation, and we have to one day or the other finish up with the thing. So we are finishing it up, but still the trend will go on, the system will go. Wherever there are some of the doubts or the lacunas in this part, we will once again revise with that. Till then, goodbye.